What's up, guys? It's your girl, Alexandria Ikamoni, in the studio, iHeartRadio, with the one and only, the real food stalker. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. I can't complain, man. I'm just happy y'all had me on.
Yes, I'm happy we got you on. I mean, we've been stalking your page because you are the go-to guy in Atlanta for all of the good spots to eat. Got to shout out my brother. He put me on to your page, first of all, and then as soon as I got hooked, I'm looking for, like, where's he going?
Hey,
what's going on?
We got to shout him out again because
yes.
I appreciate that love. That's the thing I love the most, when people tell other people. Like, they don't just keep it to themselves. They're like, hey, man, you need to check out. I love it when it happens like that.
Yes, because you go to unique spots. So you're really putting everybody on to the good spots in Atlanta. Not just like the chains and like the popular spots, but mom and pops, all that stuff. So got to give you your credit. And of course, a lot of love is being shown. More than 500,000 followers on social media between TikTok and Instagram.
Oh, you did some homework.
Of course I did some homework. It's my job. So tell me more about how it feels to have such a big community and a big fan base following you and watching what you eat.
I mean, it really just feels like, I don't know, it don't like feel like really a lot to me other than when people come up to me. But I feel like everybody who follow me, I don't feel like they followers. I be feeling like they my people. So like whenever people see me out, they talk to me, we might have a conversation. So it really feel more like my people, like how I might talk to my friends.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it don't really feel like nothing. I'm gonna be honest, it don't feel like, ooh, it don't. Nah, it feel like something. If it's a long line at a restaurant and they be like, hey man, you the food stalker, let me let you slide. I was like, all right, cool, let me slide in, because I'm gonna accept the perks. I'm not gonna tell you no lie. I'm accepting all the perks, but it's cool though. It's cool to have grew up in Georgia. You know, I'm originally from Jacksonville, Florida.
Yeah,
but I've been out here like most of my life, so it's just cool to see people just be like, hey man, you know, you get a lot of people that you grew up with hitting you up like, hey man, boy, I see you doing your thing, and I'm just like, I'm just doing the same thing I've been doing, because people always call me and say, hey man, where can I go eat at? So I just started doing it online, and it went crazy. But the weird thing is, I ain't even do it for that reason. I did it because my daughter was like, man, it take 2,000 followers on TikTok to go live. And she couldn't go live, so I was like, I'll start a page up so we could go live.
Oh, I love it.
I started the page, got to 2,000 followers. I'm like, we can go live, and she was like kids do. I don't want to do it no more. I'm like, then I just kept up with it, and it just went.
Yeah. And how long ago was that, by the way, when you decided to really
I think it
post?
was 2021, maybe. So it might have been like almost going on 3 years.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it just, when I tell you, I was just telling my daughter, was like, you ain't gonna be able to get no followers. So I'm like,
watch me.
I'm like, hold on. I might be older, but I'm still cool, I swear.
Yeah.
And she like, I don't know about that. I'm like, you ain't grow up with me. You just know me from me just being your dad,
right?
So, yeah. So that was crazy. But,
yeah. That's really cool. Really cool that you were able to just really do that, really for her in a sense, but it blossomed into something for yourself. Now you made a brand for yourself. And why did you decide to make the brand about the food? Yes, you were talking about, you know, people would ask you, but you could have posted anything on TikTok and Instagram. So
yeah, I did food because that's what I love. Most outside of my family and all that, my friends, it's food. And that's what I always been known for. Like when I was growing up, we would go to McDonald's, and my other cousin, he's not here, but if he was here, like in here, he could tell y'all. We used to go order from McDonald's, and this is when McDonald's food was like, you know, that's what we was eating.
Yeah.
So I might order like 2 quarter-pounders and a double cheeseburger and some fries. Like, man, what is you doing ordering all that food? And then at the end of the ride, when I'm done with it, he's like, bro, you just ate 3 burgers. What are you doing? And then as I got older, when I started, you know, like going out on dates and stuff, I would always try to find find cheap spots that were good date spots, and I would find expensive spots, so that like my first date would always be like a cheap spot, but it was good, so she couldn't really be like, you took me here.
Yeah.
But she could be like, he ain't spend a lot of money, but the food was good. I want to get to know you. So it was always on. I was just always trying different places. So then my friends started like, boy, you always be eating. Like, well, where can I go eat? Oh, I want to impress somebody. All right, you trying to spend. So people just always did that.
Yeah.
And so I was like, what kind of money you trying to spend? So it just always was that. But I ain't never think of social media, because social media wasn't really big when I was eating.
Makes sense. Okay, and you're talking about cheap spots on dates. There's always a whole conversation of, if the Cheesecake Factory is an acceptable date for the first date or other spots in that category. Where do you stand? Yeah, you're married now, you got a girl, but tell me more about if that's an acceptable spot.
I'm saying any spot is acceptable. I really feel like I don't feel like it should be about the money. I always felt like it should always be about a connection. And if it's good food, it's good food. I don't think there's places that I would rather go that's cheap than it is places that cost a lot. And so I don't think necessarily somebody spending a couple hundred on the first date. I don't find it cool. I mean, I understand if that's when your first date and that's what you're feeling like going to eat. Cool, y'all do that. But if it's a date and y'all really trying to get to know each other, get to know each other. Right. Somebody spending $500 ain't really getting to know unless the money is what you want. Then you getting to know them off of what you want to. But for me, it would be let's go somewhere that just got good food
and have a good time. Get to know each other, right?
Let's go somewhere that's quiet. We can talk and we can, we can get to know each other. Like me and my wife still do that, to this day where we go somewhere we know, all right, if we got to arguing, we finna go eat somewhere where it's loud. Because 9 times out of 10, we don't feel like talking to each other. So we finna, all right, we still love each other. Right. But we finna go somewhere where we ain't really, we gonna just gonna eat. And then maybe we'll feel different after we eat and ride back.
Yeah.
But then we had them days where we had great days and we like, man, all right, let's go somewhere where it's quiet and we can talk. So it just depends on what you're feeling.
That makes sense. Yeah. I love it. So talk about your wife, the first date. Did you take her out to somewhere to eat or did you go somewhere else?
Let me think.
I know
when we first met, I met her, she was working. She was selling some clothes, and I was trying to get a discount or something. She wasn't hearing that, but I ended up buying the stuff, and we ended up going out on her lunch break. So her lunch break, it wasn't long, so I had to find something in the city. Yeah. So we ate somewhere in the city. I can't remember where was our first spot. It might have been a sandwich spot, but we ate at a sandwich spot. Then we walked underground. They used to have these pecan that's like covered like candy or something. But they were really good, and we ate those and walked around talking. And then next thing you know, man. When you going out, when you go out with somebody and then you want to go out again, y'all go out again and go out again, then y'all at a whole nother level. So that's how it went with us. We was just going out eating. She blamed me for like gaining any pounds. Like, all you want to do is eat. I'm like, all you wanted was Starbucks. So like you was drinking all that Starbucks. Starbucks got doggone put weight on just as much as food.
Okay, right? So, yeah. Shout out to Starbucks. We love it, but there's some calories in those Starbucks drinks.
Some calories. I started drinking. I ain't never even drank coffee, so I put her on that for me. Like she put me on to like drinking Starbucks because she like order me one of the first times she said order me a venti soy latte. Every time I went up, I was messing it up. Let me get a
what is it? One more time.
I couldn't get it right for nothing. Venti. Then she like tall means small. I'm like that ain't what tall means. Tall is tall.
Yeah,
like,
there's a whole different ballgame.
I was all the way thrown off, but she had introduced me to all that. So.
I love it. That's cool. That's cool. Okay, and when I first met you, by the way, I asked you what is your favorite spot to eat at. You got to tell the people now. I want to know one more time, your go-to spot in Atlanta, the spot for the real food stalker. All where is it?
And now, remember I told you, I said it depends on the food.
Yes.
So if we were talking steaks, and I said my two main steak spots really is like Frankie's and Enzo. So those are my two like go-to spots. And I like Kevin Rathbun too, but my go-to spot, it's so far for me to ride to, but I go to it. It's Frankie's because they had these little onions. I love onions. They got they like a little light bulb. They like a little ball. But you eat one of those, onions. I can eat onions by themselves. So that's why I want to do that In-N-Out burger everybody doing where they just the onions on the outside. Ooh. I want to do that so bad, but I ain't been out of town. So but onions, and man, they got really good steak, and then they got this cake. It comes out, it's like $20, but it can feed like 6 people. It comes out about this tall, it's one slice, and then they come out. They do all that, and they slice it up. Everybody get a slice.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, Frankie's is like my go-to for steak.
Okay, Atlanta is big on wings. So let's talk about the best place for wings in your opinion, and who has the best lemon pepper wings. I need those too, please.
All right, so I'm gonna tell you.
Okay.
One of my American Deli is one of my favorite wings, but only all the American delis are different. So
that's true.
I'm not gonna sit here and be like, hey, go to any American deli. It's certain ones. There's one in McDonough on Jonesboro Road that has a really good honey hot wing. Really good. But then there's a spot right next door to them called Boba Mai. Okay. And they have a really good it's a honey hot garlic pepper.
Ooh.
Which is crazy good. And then you have Strikeout Wings got a wing called the Sassy Wing. Super good. But then you have for lemon pepper, there's a spot called Wings on Wheat.
Okay.
Wings on Wheat, and they're in Mount Zion, and they have a wing called the honey honey ranch lemon pepper.
Oh, that sounds
Honey
good.
ranch lemon pepper. Those are the best lemon pepper wings I ever had. And it's like it's almost like you ain't even got to dip them in no blue cheese or ranch, whichever you use. I use both. It just depends on how I feel.
Same. I dip in each.
Yeah, it just depends on how I feel. But they have the best lemon pepper wing, but it's not just a traditional lemon pepper though. So I don't know if that qualifies for your lemon pepper, but it's lemon pepper ranch.
I'll take it. I do love ranch, so I'll try it out. And I'm making my little mental list. So I'm going to
You ain't
places
even gotta
after.
make a mental list. You just tell me when you want some,
period.
and I'll go grab some, and I promise you I'll bring you.
Okay,
some.
sounds like a plan. I'll take it. I'll take it. Now you are the go-to for food and knowing the hot spots in Atlanta, and you also have a podcast coming out.
Oh yeah.
Because we want to know more. We can't just take only the clip on social media. So tell me more about this podcast.
All right, so the podcast is We All Can Eat. It's called We All Can Eat. It's gonna be about. It's not gonna be just about food. It's gonna be about the everyday life that anybody that I have come on there. It's not gonna be just celebrities. It's gonna be, it's gonna be some celebrities. It's gonna be some people who just work a 9 to 5. They're just giving, advice about life. Because some people can't. A celebrity might not be what somebody need to hear. It might be a guy who work a 9 to 5 because maybe this person feels like I don't never want to rap. I'm not gonna make it as an athlete, or I'm gonna work a 9 to 5 my whole life, and they're gonna need to hear from somebody like that. So I got some people that are retired who made it that time, because it's gonna be people who are gonna stick to one job, and they might need to know that mentality you gotta have. Because I didn't have that mentality. Every time I worked a job, man, goodness, it just did. I just couldn't see myself. I never got the chance to work the job that I love.
Yeah.
Like some people find a job and they love it.
That's true.
I've seen the positions that I know that I would love, and I always got passed over. So just never was able to just do it. But my mom did it. She's no longer here, but she worked somewhere. She worked at a library for like 20-some odd years.
Yeah.
And she did it, and I was just going through it. I'm like, dang, I could do that. And then every time I work a job, like, dang,
I can't do
that. And then I never asked her. That's one thing I regret that I never asked her is like, how did you do it? I never asked my mama that. But I probably never asked her. I probably didn't want to know, because then they probably would have put me in a situation where I did it. So I never asked. But that's going to be the thing about the podcast. It's going to touch so many different people in so many different ways.
Yeah.
And it's still going to be about a little food, man. I might have people restaurants bring food in, maybe I'm getting big enough to where I get that pull where they'll be like, yeah, we would love to bring the food in.
Absolutely.
So hopefully, we get to that point of the podcast. But it's gonna be about food. We got some of your favorite celebrities. You're gonna know what they like to eat. You're gonna figure out their favorite restaurants and stuff like that.
I love it. So when can we expect the first episode to drop?
All right, so I'm gonna be real. Like right now, I'm waiting on my guy. His name, he's on Instagram, Marvelous. Is it Marvelous Woods? I can't. He's doing some work on it. He's doing my walls right now. He's putting my TVs up. I'm hoping he's going to come today at 2. I need to call him and say, hey, man, are you still showing up? Because I really need to get it done. That's the major thing.
Yeah.
If I can get that done, as soon as that get done, I'm working. Like, I'm going. So it's just like the food thing. If people who follow me know I go out to eat like almost every day. I do. People always wonder, do you eat at home? Yes, my wife does cook. I do eat at home. The kids do eat at home, but I do eat out a lot. But, the podcast is coming so soon. It's gonna be one of the dopest podcasts you ever see. Like, I don't even want to call it a podcast. I want to just change the name of it because there's so many podcasts popping up. Yeah. So I will change the name. It's not gonna be called a podcast. I'm gonna figure out a new name.
I'm here for it.
Yeah,
I'm here for it.
When I get it, I'm gonna call you, and you're gonna be the first person to tell you.
Thank you.
But it's gonna be called We All Can Eat. It just feels like everybody can eat, and it feels like there's enough money in the world for everybody if everybody just
It's a movement. Yeah. It sounds like it's a movement.
Yeah, it's gonna be, man.
I love it. And you're talking about you eat almost every day. And I've always had this question because I see people who eat out every day, but how do you stay looking good, in shape? Like, how do you balance? Do you eat salads in the morning, or?
Nah, I be praying.
I know that's right.
Nah, my mama, I'm gonna tell you something. My mama instilled in me. She said, my mom was brutally honest. She's like, baby, you're not tall, you're short, so you're at a disadvantage. Baby, don't you be short and round. So I said short and round. She said, baby, I'm just telling you, it's not gonna look good on you. It's some people that short and round look good on, and it's not you. So I said, oh, okay. So I walk a lot.
Okay.
I do a lot of walking.
Yeah.
Sometimes a lot of mornings I wake up to just water and fruit. So if I have a big meal or if I have a bunch of Reviews I'm gonna do in one day.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably all I'm gonna eat that
Okay.
day. So,
That's
but then I don't. But I'm gonna start working out though, cause it is catching up
Yeah.
a little bit. I raced a guy at what was that, Sweet Auburn,
Mm-hmm.
and McDonald. We had a race.
Yeah.
And I ran it. And I beat him the first time.
Yeah.
And I was like, cool. So he like, let's race again. And I'm thinking to myself, I shouldn't do this. I raced him again and won, but I paid for it the next day because I was out of shape. Everything was sore. So now I'm gonna start working out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna really give my body a chance to get back to health.
Yeah, but it's good that you're walking. That's some form of cardio. So when you can.
When we do our annual Universal and Disney trip, we keep up with the steps.
Okay.
So while we out there eating, we might do 10 miles a day, and then we usually go for 4 days. So we get like 30 to 40 miles in 4 days.
That's crazy.
But we don't do that a lot.
Yeah.
We only go out there like 2 to 3 times a year. But during that time, we do that.
That makes sense. That's great. Okay, well, talk to me more about other things you are working on this year, or are we just focusing on the podcast, not called the podcast, and then we're calling it a year? Like, what else do we have going on your end?
Right now, I got a butter sauce out. Right now, it's a Florida-style butter sauce. It's called Stalker Struck Gold. I wish I would have brought a bottle with me, but I didn't. People can buy that from the website on in my bio, or they can catch me out in the streets and buy it. So that's a really good butter. So if it's somebody who do crab boils and their crab boils do not be seasoned well, they can get this butter, and after they finish their crab boil, they can just drizzle that butter on it and give it a whole nother taste. All right, and then after that, there's this guy. He got a chip called, what is his chips called? Symphony chips. But I'm talking to him right now about coming out with a Food Stalker chip.
Okay.
So I'm hoping I can do that.
Yeah.
And I'm in talks with somebody else about a beer. So we may see a Food Stalker beer.
Okay.
So if that comes, then, but I got to do some taste testing, because if I put my name behind it, I want it to be something that I would drink or eat. That's why the butter sauce is out, because this is a butter sauce that I live by. Then we got a comic book. So you know how all the superheroes now are like still Superman, still Ninja Turtle, still like all my old school favorites, and they just rebooting them.
Yeah.
So we're coming with some foodie superheroes that's gonna have their own powers, and it's gonna be a comic book, and it's gonna be great.
That's exciting.
It's gonna be great. It's gonna kind of be like, I don't know if people watch Captain Planet, but how Captain Planet was trying to save the Earth, but we'll be trying to save the food world. So it's gonna be dope.
That's exciting.
So,
yeah.
Yeah. So the comic book is gonna be one of my favorites, just because of the nerd part of me. So, yeah.
Is that a whole nother life that you have? Are you really into comic books, and what else are you into on
I'm
stuff?
into all the old stuff. Nintendo, Sega, Super
Love
Nintendo. I'm into all the old stuff.
The
Ninja
classics.
Turtles. Yeah, all the classics. I'm into that. A lot of people don't understand it. My wife understands it. My kids understand it. My friends be like, man, what you doing with all this stuff, man? They like it, but they can't. I got some people that you will go through my inbox and you'll see them inbox. Man, I love that. And you'll be like, you like that? You look like you'll like that.
Right.
So that's how people look at me when I go to this thing every year called Dragon Con. And you get to dress up and cosplay. So people be like, bro, I have one guy's name is Jason. He always tells me when I come to Dragon Con, he's like, you're the leader of the nerds. You're like the coolest of the nerds. I'm like, bro, it's like we're just doing stuff we love. So so every year I take my whole family to Dragon Con, and we all dress up and just have a time.
That's a good time.
That's my type of time. Like I done did all the clubs. I probably won't never do those no more unless it's like, hey, you getting paid to come through.
That's a different story.
I do the walk through and try to stay up, because at 11 o'clock, I be knocked out.
I'm asleep.
I'm really trying to get, because I got all girls. I got 3 girls. I'm a girl dad. So now I'm trying to stay up late and make sure they go to sleep and they ain't on their phone with no boys. So so now I have to try to reflect and get my body back to staying up late. So it's just, I don't know, it's crazy. Crazy.
Yeah, just time goes on and you realize you're getting younger every day and you want to be asleep by 9 p.m. and you can't do it.
And a couple of times I fell asleep, man, and heard the kids walking around the house, and I was like, if I get up right now, this is really gonna break my sleep. I let them have it that night. I was like, all right, forget it. I get it.
You got to be a dad, and just sometimes you just be like, you know what? Your mom will handle that. Yeah. I can't do it today.
She be sleep too. We both be sleep.
I love it. Well, any last words you want to leave with the people, by the way?
When I go live, I usually say this, so I just say it just because life is short. Like, if it's somebody that you love, somebody that a family member that you ain't messing with no more, just because y'all done fell out, not saying that you got to call them and talk to them, but you can send them a text, let them know you still love them. Because at the end of the day, most of the time you fall out with somebody, you still love them. You just at odds. So I tell people at the end of all my lives, man, just call somebody that you're not messing with no more, that you still love. And just let them know you still love them. That don't mean y'all got to start back kicking it or nothing.
Yeah.
Just let them know you still love them, because if somebody passed, everybody always says it. They be like, man, I wish I would have called this person and said this. So at least you can do that. Instead of thinking that, you can do that. And you never know. That might get y'all back on talking terms. That might make that person see what they did wrong, or if you was in the wrong, maybe that'll make them feel like, hey, man, they growing as a person. But that's one of my things that I do when I haven't talked to somebody in a long time. Even if we not cool no more, I'll reach out and, hey, man, hey, we still good, man, still love you or whatever.
Yeah.
Man. I'll do that.
That's important.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's important, too, not just to try to build back a friendship or nothing, just to let them know, like, I know we ain't talking, but we good.
Yeah.
I don't hate you.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's important for definitely people to really understand, because you never want to have any kind of regrets later down the line. Right. So I get it. Well, how can the people follow you on social media and keep up with everything you have going on?
So it's The Real Food Stalker on every platform, from YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook, man. And really, I really need y'all to follow me on YouTube, man. They say that's where the money is.
Yes, they do.
Like, let me get some money so I can give back, y'all. Let me follow me on the YouTube, because I swear to y'all, I promise y'all my people. Get my YouTube like y'all got my IG, man, so I can get some money and give back. When I see y'all out, I can start being able to afford to buy y'all lunch, man. Hey, help me help y'all.
Okay.
I'm asking y'all. So that's going to be my new thing. I'm going to go live at some point and tell people to follow that YouTube.
Yeah.
Help me build that YouTube up as a community, as my people. Like, you know, because everybody that I feel like that follow me, like I said, I really feel like they my people. Because, like, it ain't just like, when I say my people, some people may think I'm just saying black people. But I'm saying everybody. Yeah. My people, like anybody who shows love and you know, not with all the hatred. And, you know, I love my people, man. Yeah. And when I'm out, they show me love, so I want to show it back to them. This year, I'm hoping that I team up with a couple companies and do some turkey giveaways during Thanksgiving. Yeah. I got a company that I'm talking to now, because I want to eat with one of the families, one or two of the families during Thanksgiving. Because I grew up one parent home, my mom, so I want to give back to single parent homes.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. So we are rooting for you. We're supporting you. Follow YouTube. Let's get this money up so we can really do some big things in 2024. So thank you so much for coming into the studio. We appreciate having you in.
Oh, I appreciate. Oh no, you're a hugger.
I'm a hugger. Yeah, we gotta hug it out. We definitely gotta hug it out. Once again, Alexandria Ikamoni in the studio with The Real Food Stalker.